ready for the next picks and bans. So we'll get into that.
And also not to mention...
Wait a minute, they have to start it. I think Mokata has some problems. Medium makers, let me see.
Well, not to mention, you're also... We'll catch us on Twitter. You can do hashtag IEM Ask Us a Question. We'll be more than happy to answer those. We've been doing a couple of those throughout the tournament. Actually, even asked you one on that and asked if you lift, and clearly he does. I'm sorry, I have to keep going into that.
Who do you pick for MVP, actually?
For MVP? I mean, we were talking about last game, Mackler.
Yeah, Mackler by far. I will pick Mackler as well.
Yep.
I'm not sure if I'm able to say it, but I pick Mackler. So we got the picks now. With the Azara ban by AL, we know AL is the first pick right here. Zyra ban. That means that AL doesn't play Zyra at all. Because
yeah, we know Olympic does. And he plays an insane Zyra.
I think it's actually a waste of a banning Zyra when you're first pick, because that is most likely that should be a meme, a Medium Makers ban. Medium Makers ban Diana. They clearly don't want to play her and clearly don't want them to play her either. Zillion ban against Zaru. We know Zaru is extremely good Zillion.
Yeah, we played it in the best of 3 between Kuala Lumpur and them.
Yep.
In the semifinals.
Medium Makers bans Lee Sin. Obviously, Lee Sin is one of those champions that can decide the game by the early game. So they fear losing the control of the game because they know, MYM knows they're superior when it comes down to in-game. Nunu ban by AL. They didn't like the Nunu pick at all. Previous game, Malphite ban.
Oh, Katarina got free.
Katarina first pick. Whew. Okay, so right here, I don't like at all the Orianna pick against Katarina. Like, against Katarina, what I would have picked is Fizz. Maybe not now, but later on. Orianna doesn't work. Like, I don't know how the lane is gonna go, but how it should go is Katarina should wreck Orianna. Then we got Irelia pick. Probably is one of those picks, basically because you don't want to show your bottom lane or your jungle yet. And you say, okay, let's pick top lane. What do you want to pick when you don't know the opposite top laner?
It's a solid pick.
Irelia. It's either Irelia or Jax. Malphite is banned, which is the only corner for Irelia Jax. And yeah, obviously Irelia Jax, a really good pick, really good blank top picks.
Ooh.
We got Rengar pick. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense because Lee Sin is banned. This is
like Gragas doesn't make sense.
Man, I actually want to see Rengar. He's extremely OP and so fun to command.
Well, Spellsy obviously not going to sit on that Gragas since
I don't think
they already have that EP middle.
Yeah.
But Olaf top lane against Aurelia, very strong pick at level 6. I mean, he should be able to take her on. But it's pretty much in that top lane, it's always how much the jungle interacts with it.
Yeah, top lane, well, as you know already, and lately as well bottom lane. But yeah, top lane is so reliable on the ganks, man. Like, they really rely on proper ganks, on successful ganks. A top laner that doesn't get any help at all, and he's fighting against most likely top laner plus jungler, you know that game is gonna be over.
Yeah.
Because top lane is noble so much, man. The reason top lane is noble so much is because you're actually able to freeze the lane so much, you know? You freeze the lane, and you're so tanky that you can make the creep stuck attacking you, you know? So the creep is always on your side. Opponent can creep. You just destroy him.
Yeah, and when you're on the blue team, you make the red team overextend where they can be ganked quite easily.
They went again for the Orianna Udyr combo. They actually like it, and it's a proper engage. I'm not ending up liking Udyr too much lately. Don't ask me why. I think he was stronger before, but yeah, I mean we saw Mokata Udyr gameplay. He's awesome. With him.
That's his favorite, I think, favorite jungler, if I'm not mistaken. But we do have Shaco being sat on by Yoda. Not sure if that's actually a troll pick. That could be a legitimate pick out of him.
Not sure. It would have been a good idea. We didn't talk about the Zona pick. Zona pick is actually really, it makes a lot of sense because Zyra's banned. I think Zyra Zona is like pretty even when it comes down to laning. Taric pick is as well as Leona. Is good enough against Zona, but it's a one-trick pony. Taric has a really good level 1. Has a proper laning phase, but afterwards he becomes extremely useless. If you compare the crescendo of Zona against Taric's spells, doesn't make any sense. Just
well, one thing you do have to point out though, it synergizes with Graves so well in that bottom lane, that extra armor. It sends it up to like almost 100 armor. But like when it's a Kog'Maw, it doesn't really matter much.
Exactly. We got right here Zona Kog'Maw, a lot of magic damage. I would say around 40% of the laning damage is magic damage, or 50% even, and 50% physical damage, which is actually pretty even if you're fighting against full armor team, which is Taric, Graves.
So how do these comps stack up in the early game and the late game?
Well, early game, I would give it to AL Late game, obviously, to medium makers. You know,
Just on that
Oriana, Kog'Maw, Irelia, late game beast. We don't want Irelia to get kills, because if Irelia gets kills, you know the game is going to be over.
So should we expect a ton of early game pressure from Absolute Legends?
They should pressure a lot early and mid game.
Well, that's what I would do.
Good enough, man. And I think we are done with the pick phase.
Yeah, the timer's running out.
Yeah.
We're going to pass it back over to Demon. I'll say it right this time just for you, and Joe Miller with his beautiful shaved head. It looks great, dude.
I want to rub
and you
it.
can stop
He
laughing
always
at
looks
me
great, man.
any minute, Lee.
I mean, it's yo.
Every time I look over, he's laughing at me. Thank you. Love the support.
Rub it, Jason. Only cool people are allowed to rub it.
Can I rub it?
Go on, then.
Go on. There we go.
Yeah. Feels good.
Rub the chrome dome. He's actually already complained that his headset is now hurting his head. He hasn't got his hair to protect
I've actually
it.
shortened it by about this much.
Yeah.
Now it's fine again.
It's fine
I'm not
again.
sure what happened. So we're into game them, and let's drop us in there and give you a rundown of these two teams and how they're going to be facing off for our second game in this grand final best of 3.
Jarrett got to rub it. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, let's get underway. Yes, without further ado, let's get into the game. So, blue team, it is going to be Absolute Legends. Absolute Legends have to really pick a win up here. It is only a best of 3, so if they lose, it's game over. And their trip from North America, it's not without, you know, fail. They would get second place. It is a 50,000 prize tournament, so there's a lot of money still at stake here for both these teams. But both of them, neither of them really have won a major offline event, so it would be a big, big deal. And we can see Absolute Legends, they have that dazzle. They have a strong level 1 fight, which is why they're going for it here. They're going aggressive. Let's see whether Slush's picked anything up as well. Have they leveled any skills up yet? I'd be amazed. Yes, he has. So he's got the he's gone for the players to slow down. Has no buckshot yet from Robert Lee, but wouldn't be surprised if he goes for that as well. They are in position, but the problem is the invade from Meet Your Makers is down the bottom. They want to get on towards those golems. They want to try and take them away, maybe get round to the red. So it looks like they're going to counter each other and pick each other's red up.
Yeah, pretty similar stuff to what we saw in this first game. But Absolute Legends actually backing right off from this one. That single ward that they put down was in this crossover bush there. Minions have spawned in the 20 seconds, and we'll see the rest of the buffs come into there, obviously at 40. These golems down on the bottom, which MYM wanting to take away at the start of this game. So, looking like it's going to be a Phoenix stance once again from Makata. I've seen that last game we saw him running Phoenix, but in the games before, he actually went Tiger, so he changed things up a little bit.
But look what they're doing again. This is what Meet Your Makers did in the first round. They wiped out the creep wave in between the lane at level 1. Spellsy being very aggressive, going on towards Libic, doing a lot of damage on him, but it's not going to be enough. Libic might get caught out now. The ward's position, that surely could be first, but he's going to flash through. Will they follow? They'd be a little bit dangerous to follow through. Katarina was coming down. The question is, how many times will we be saying Katarina this game?
Well, we'll see.
Look at the red buff.
Yeah, a red buff at the moment. We do have Kubon there. Is going to take it away. Ziken is going to work his way in, but there is Charu, the axe actually missing. And Meet Your Makers already started off this red buff on the other side of the map. So Makata going to take that one out. I'm guessing head straight towards his blue. Make sure that that's not going to get taken away. In the meantime, though, Yoda just getting rid of that big Wraith. And he's going to take the 2 small ones and leave just a single one there at the bottom as Libic again going very, very low. But here comes Makata actually flashing in. Now Spellsy is out of position. And here comes the teleport down from Slushy. Are they going to be able to get around? He is now level 2. He's leveled up his W and the Q, but it's not quite enough. And Spellsy going low. Oh, it's flashed away. Slushy now the one that's low. But can they get in to finish off this kill? Robert Lee is still healthy. And I think that MYM have decided because of that, they're not going to go and push this one too aggressively, and no first blood from what was a crazy encounter with lots of health being taken.
The advantage gained immediately. You can see they've gone towards the blue buff. They're going to steal away that blue buff. Yoda's got it straight in there. Quick responses from Absolute Legends. They've realized they'd forced Makata away. Makata still hasn't used that smite, and he's not going to get a chance to because Yoda stole away the blue buff as well. They've managed to get both of them. Are they going to dive this bottom turret? I'd be surprised. Oh, now they're actually going to meet in there, and Makata realizes he's lost that blue buff. He's lost the timing on it. He won't be too far away there, but this is a very, very close stuff. And just like Ocelot said, expect Absolute Legends to go aggressive at the start.
Yeah, and they are doing exactly that here. As per usual, Ocelot knows his stuff, as you would maybe expect. So this top lane, let's have a look there, because they've not had really any attention, only with Aurelia taking that red buff earlier on. 10-8 is the CS. That's going to be leveled up here very, very shortly. So even stuff there. In the middle lane, 11-15. So although Katarina was wandering there, you know, Charu not having that much of a lead from it. Bottom lane, Graves 3 CS ahead. So overall, very, very even stuff. It's just maybe this jungle thing that could come back to be a bit of a problem a little bit later on for Makata.
Yeah, and as it stands, he has got that 1 level difference. Let's see whether that sticks, whether they manage to catch that up. Those blue buff steals are definitely going to be a big advantage, as it is in that top lane. You can see Kubon and Aurelia definitely having a little poke back and forward, but in the mid lane, Slushi and Sharu are continuing on down the bottom. Makla's going to get dived on. Is it going to be enough for damage from Robert Lee? I don't think it will be, but it's going to force him back a bit. They turn the damage back on towards Spellsy, and now Robert Lee's in trouble. You can see the damage coming from Makla, forcing him back. Quick turnaround between the teams. Now in the mid lane, you can see eventually Yoda's going to come around, but he hasn't got the damage on towards Sharu. Is just going to try and force him in our lane, try and do as much as he can to pincer him away, because he's just going to force him out there. He's actually got quite a lot of damage coming out here, and Sharu now realizing that Slushi could come around. He's had to flash. Great work from Yoda there to force the flash.
Yeah, he wanted that. I wasn't expecting, to be honest, that Skarner was going to do enough damage to force the issue there, but Slushi, using out on his last pot, actually came in with a decent amount of HP, and if he would have been in range for that Shunpo, that could have ended a lot differently than it actually did. In the meantime, Cogwell has gone back home, picking up that Doran's Blade to add into his boots. Cat was just having a look here up towards Makatu, who was full HP. And actually a couple of levels lower, so it may have gone decently for Slushi, but not getting eyes and is going to be headed home. Let's see what Katarina will pick up there. And it's an Amp Tome to give her that little bit of a boost. Chalice already finished, though, by Oriana.
Double Doran's being picked up as well by Graves. You can see he's just backed out. So how is this balancing out? At the moment, Graves with the CS advantage, 34-20. You would expect that. 33-28 on the top lane, 28-20 in the jungle. Of course, the advantage currently is going to be with Yoda. He did manage to get that double blue buff steal. As it stands, I'm trying to think whether he didn't get the red buff, but then again, nor did Mercato. He only got his own red buff. The steel red buff. The other one went to top lane, I believe it was. So they did manage to steal that one back and forward. So very much even there. Slushi versus Sharu, though, is the battle to keep an eye on. It's going to be so hard to track as well. 27-33 currently. And honestly, I'm just not sure how this one's going to go, Joe. You can see Absolute Legends, they want to be more aggressive.
Yeah, they want to be more aggressive, but if Meteor Makers can, hold that defensive line and not get pushed too hard, not allow this Skarner to get in. I mean, once he hits level 6, which he is currently, pretty much a full level away from, still level 5. Once he hits that level 6, that's going to open things up a little bit more for Absolute Legends, and no doubt force Meteor Makers to spend a lot more on those wards in all lanes. They need to have full vision when Skarner is anywhere close to them on this on their lane. So that's something that they're going to be worried about, Meteor Makers, for sure. This early aggression so far has not produced a first blood. We actually have a tied game in terms of gold right now, as we do see there Robert Lee pushing in towards Makler. He is actually going to get exhausted up, but is it going to be enough? There's 4 seconds still on the stun. Limbic actually coming in from around that side. And it's just exchanging the health in that bottom lane.
And that exchange that just happened there, they came out better there, just because Limbic kept the damage down. Kubon trying to get dived on by Yoda in the top lane, hasn't got impale yet, so can't drag him away from that damage. Also, we're seeing in the mid lane that Slushi, get his name right eventually, has been forced away down the bottom. It is going to be first blood. Graves picks it up, but Macklin turns it around. Robert Lee did get the kill. It was Limbic that went down, but it's a double kill for Robert Lee. That's what they needed. Is the passive enough? No, it is not. And they do survive. Slushi came down to help out, only picked up one of the assists, but Robert Lee with the double kill. This is the advantage they needed. You can see he's got the CS advantage already. The question is, can he turn that 2-0 into something? He'd already got the double Dorrance. He's going to go back and buy. Will it be the Berserker Greaves? Will it be something aggressive? It is Berserker Greaves, so he's going to try and put the pressure and the Vampiric Scepter onto that lane. He needs to keep Cogmore out of this game.
And this is why we decided to have a dedicated observer demon. I think that's my second first blood of the tournament, to be honest. But we'll see. Hopefully, well, if Meteor Makers win, I'm not going to miss another one, that's for sure. We'll have to see how that one all goes. Meanwhile, in this top lane, things could get a little bit interesting. Actually, the pink ward in there will have that ward just in vision for Yoda to take it out. However, Udyr is waiting in this top lane now for Zeken to make a bit of a push out, but currently he's quite happy to soak up these minions just in front of his tower, not having to push out there into the lane.
As it is though, Katarina taking away the Wraith, so that Wraith farming continue. Let's have a look across the board. 61 to 46 that top lane, bit of an advantage for Aurelia. As you'd expect, Kubon doing a fantastic job. He keeps doing it throughout this game, and let's see whether Makler can get back into this one now. The thing is that Kog'Maw will be a late game champion, so we expect him to be down. Yeah. We know that Absolute Legends are going for that early game fight. They need to make it quick. They need to try and force it. They've kept with the standard lanes, and they need that top lane to try and even itself out. We need to see Olaf Zeken getting back into it. I have faith in the guy, though. He is a top laner, top player. They're going to go for Makler. They do manage to slow him down, and there's the Impale. The crescendo hit just at the right time, but so much damage comes out from Slushy there as he lands his ultimate, and Robert Lee finishes it with a buckshot, and that's another kill. And this is what they've got to do. They've got to keep the pressure on that bottom lane. They've got to keep him out of the game, and now they're going for Dragon Joe, I believe.
Yeah, actually Udyr was in this middle lane. Olaf had come down, which certainly indicated that they may be thinking about going for that dragon. In the end, looks like they've decided against it, but we see there the importance of the Impale, you know. It's not easy to get away from as Mikata there is going to be in trouble now. Slushy diving in. It's actually Slushy who's tanking the turret, and with one final W, he will seal that deal. And that will beat Katarina 1-0 to Graves 3-0. As Charo actually chasing in there as well. Does have flash if he really wants to force this one, but Katarina also had flash, so pretty much a wise decision that he didn't go for that.
Yeah, very wise decision. And also we saw Zeken having to run hot-footed back to this top lane, make sure they didn't lose that turret. They realized that they couldn't go for the Dragon Tower exchange, which they really didn't want to give, so they all backed off, and they managed to get themselves back in there. Haunted Guy's being picked up by Slushy. Slushy picking up that kill and 2 assists means he's going to get that advantage, but you can see the farm is massive advantage in terms of Charo. Robert Lee being a little too aggressive in this bottom lane, getting caught out a couple of times by Makler there. The damage being returned while his support was out of the lane. They've got to keep that pressure down. 76 to 54 in the bottom lane, and the top lane, it's not evening out. 61 to 83. They keep leaving Kubon, and he just continues that farming spree.
You have to give credit though to Olaf, I mean to Zeken. He has made sure that he is freezing this lane as close to his tower without being in tower range as he possibly can. There you see it again. And what that does, it means Udyr can't really gank him, you know. He's not he's a champion that literally has to run in there and get the stun, and that's an Udyr gank, you know. He's not like Skarner, who could flash over and then pull you back towards the tower or out into the open even. So Zeken knows if Aurelia gets kills, then it's bad news going into that late game. If they manage to hold her back, the only problem is obviously the CS for him right now. But they're doing a good job of dominating this bottom lane, middle lane. It's fairly even, obviously CS behind for Katarina, but got that 1 kill and the 2 assists. But Aurelia still on 0 kills, 0 assists, and that's what the exact position they want to keep Kubon. Or, well, obviously they want to kill her as well if possible.
Kubon heading down south, putting that ward out. And the big bad news really that is the fact that Zeken, with that Ragnarok, has got the ability to just pile straight through the team no matter what stuns, crescendos, shockwaves they throw at him, and to get straight onto Makler, and that's going to be his key target. And meanwhile, you can see that actually the 2 mid laners having a little tit for tat there. Nobody really putting the damage down on each other though, but they do have a little poke back and forward. Impale is available, so let's see whether Yoda goes for anything. Just shows himself in that middle, gives his position away to the enemy team, so we'll see whether they go for anything. Libic's going to take it now very low in that bottom lane. He should get finished off. Robert Lee picks up another kill. 4-0 now for Robert Lee, doing some work, and now he's keeping Makler down. Makler might put himself in danger there as well. He's forced to back away. And well, Spellsy was taken very low, but Robert Lee is really turning the screw in this bottom lane. Now they're coming in. The Impale's there. They should have enough to take down Makler. There it is. Another kill for Robert Lee. 5-0. Absolutely dominant stuff in this bottom lane now, compared against Makler, who really we've got down as MVP currently.
Yeah, we were talking about that in that last game, the way that he played that Sivir, but Robert Lee really showing what he's made of with this Graves. I mean, 5 kills, and he is looking so strong. Let's see what he's going to buy. There is the BF sword, which makes it
2 APs.
even harder.
Mid lane,
well,
mid lane.
Oh yeah, has the Bloodthirster, sorry, picked up by Robert Lee as well. So now he is money right now, as we are seeing Kubon pushing it on towards second up at the top. He is actually going to use his ultimate. There's a flash out of Kubon, and couldn't quite, he needed, I want to say, one more auto attack to finish that off.
One more hit would have been enough, but it may well have also been a return kill. I think the tower damage would have been enough on towards Kubon if it had been one more hit. Actually coming up to the top there, you can see that he's baited it, but is it too much? Slushie coming up there, and now I'm not too sure if Slushie's got the damage here. Kubon's just going to keep running past. He's going to try and bait it. Slushie should pick up the kill here. Oh, and he stuns him out, but he should get back onto it. The blade surge was not enough, and Slushie with the ultimate with one last dash. He does manage to land the kill, and that, honestly, trading a top kill for the mid, feeding a Katarina, I'm not sure about that trade.
Yeah, I don't think it was worth it either. I mean, Olaf, he's probably like, well,
he didn't get the hit, Olaf, though. He wanted to try and get the assist.
Yeah.
But I don't think he had him. I think that it was within 15 seconds.
Well, Yoda now does have the Oracle on and is such clearing out by Dragon. So that may open things up on that front. Actually, that's a pink ward that he's going to be taking away. So expensive stuff down in the bottom lane for Lyric. And Absolute Legends, will they come down? Olaf is actually currently doing Wolves, so we'll see if he goes back in towards lane, which he may do because there's a decent amount of minions stacking up there as well, or whether they will come down towards Dragon. He actually is headed south, so it looks like we are going to see that first Dragon attempt from Absolute Legends.
Yeah, and Impale will be available. Yoda's now got that. It seems to be doing work for them right now. 5-0. You can see the AD carry. And he's got that Bloodthirster already built. He's actually sold one of his Doran's blades. He did have 2. And they see the pressure on that bottom turret. You can see there's a creep wave all over it at the moment. Charu putting that ward down. They were aware of the position. Spellsy just keeping it out. The ping's going down. They know the fact that it is a 5-man Absolute Legends team here. And actually, now they've pinged on towards Makler. Makler hot-footing it away from that one. But they're just farming in between the lanes. They've taken that bottom turret, of course. It is 1-0, 7-2 up now. And Robert Lee starting to put damage on towards that inner turret. And honestly, Absolute Legends are turning on to Meet Your Makers what they did in them in the first game. We know, though, they have to take this advantage. They have to try and drive every advantage they can in this early lane phase, because late game, it is all going to be a Beat Your Makers. They have to try and drive as much of an advantage as they can. Yoda coming round. Crescendo used, but he flashed past it. There's the shockwave. It's not going to be enough, and that is a kill. Another kill for Katarina. A double kill for Katarina. Can he get the triple? He's all over Makato. He's got the exhaust down. It wasn't enough damage coming out from Robert Lee either. They couldn't turn it around, but that was a quick double kill there. And honestly, this is looking dangerous.
It's looking really dangerous, and this turret now is going to fall as well. Absolute Legends turning up the pressure 16 minutes into the game. First inner turret going down, and doing a fantastic job of it. However, we talk about inner turrets, and Kubon here is pushing this top lane out as well. Whilst that fight was going on, he was farming and pushing. Look at his CS now. Almost with the highest in the game. Only Graves and Oriana have more, and that's only 2 between them. So really strong stuff from Kubon. We talked about this before, that Irelia, get your Trinity Force, get a Guardian Angel, and you're set to go.
And the problem is, though, that Katarina has 4-0-2, and the snowball is happening, and it's happening for the 2 carries. It's not just the one person carrying this game right now. It's Robert Lee and Slushie. And the ideal champions to get the snowball. Libic nearly getting caught out of position now. Yoda's hot foot, and he wanted him. Hadn't got the Impale ready, but could certainly get the slowdown on him with that red buff. And that Oracle is doing work for Absolute Legends right now. Yoda's clearing out all those wards. There's pink wards they keep putting down. Everything available to them. They are slowly but surely working it down. Slushie picking up as much as he can, and actually gaining in the CS there. At that top lane, the rotation's happening. You can see that Spellsy getting in around there, and Kubon, already the ping goes down. They've got to be careful, Kubon here. He doesn't want to stick around because Slushy's also heading up to the north. He's in the tri-bush right now. Kubon is there. He's going to get the dazzle down. Is it going to be enough? Here comes Slushy. They're going to follow it through. You can see Makata's in there. He's going to try and get the stun. They might take down Spellsy. Yes, they do. They turn it into their favor. Now they can see the Hulk throwing it back. Oriana's also coming in. They try and catch them out, and immediately everybody disengages and backs away from this one. Absolute Legends didn't want to get involved in that fight.
Yeah, really good turnaround though from Meteor Makers, managing to pick up Spellsy, who had gone just that little bit too deep. Once Udyr had ran out of the bush, it was like, oh, I should probably get away. Didn't quite manage it. In the meantime though, Olaf doing exactly what Irelia did when the action was going down on the other side of the map, and that is pushing this turret, pushing this lane up as much as he possibly can. That's a big wave of farm for Cogmore to have here in just a moment. So let's have a look at CS again. 20 in favor of Oriana in the middle, but 4-0 to Katarina. Almost approaching a 70 CS lead for Graves. 5-0-2 in the kills. Already got Bloodthirster and Zeal, a single Doran's Blade dagger. And then you compare that to Cogmore, who's got Zeal, double Doran's Blade, and a dagger. It's a big, big difference between these two carries.
And already Absolute Legends checking out the Baron pit there, clearing it out, checking if there's anything in there. So they're starting to make some inroads here towards the Baron. Looks like the mid turret is going to be the next focus of target though. There we go. And that is tutorial style, taking out all of those turrets. Just the top one now left, and immediately you can see Graves heading that way. He's going to clear out the wave. The rest of his team are not with him though, so he's got to be careful he doesn't get caught out. Robert Lee with the blue buff, of course. He just picked that up a moment ago. And they continue to farm it out. The rest of the team not with him. They're going to try and focus on towards Olaf, but he's going to have enough time before anyone to react to get onto this turret. You can see he's just working straight through that creep wave. He's got the ward out, so he's got full vision. Spellsy caught out with a crescendo. Kubon tries to dive onto him, but the exhaust goes back down, and Slushy forces him away, puts the ultimate down. It's not enough damage though. Slushy might get caught out here. Shockwave missing.
Whoa.
Kubon walked away from that one. It wasn't his fault, and Spellsy is going to be the victim. But while this is all happening, the top inner turret now is getting hammered down. Robert Lee has a lot of damage. He's going to pick that up. It's going to be an inner turret for the Dragon, and they may not even get the Dragon. Yoda's getting ready and waiting to try and get in, get the smite. You can see there's the turret going down. He comes in, he wasn't enough, and that's going to be Yoda got dropped. He's got an Oracle on him. That's not a trade they wanted to give, but now the inner turret, the inhibitor turret, is being hammered on by Robert Lee. They've got to get back and react to this one. He's going to take this to half at least, and you can see that Olaf was trying to keep them at bay there. Now he backs off. That was great work. That's a great trade. Absolute Legends will be happy with that.
Yeah, they won't mind too much losing that Dragon, even losing Skarner and Taric, to be honest with you, from that. They are going to be stealing away that red buff again. Here is Robert Lee once he comes out the bush. And actually, Kubon may not even notice that that's happened. Obviously, seen that it's been stolen, but didn't realize that it was still around the corner. So let's take stock again. 9-5 in kills. That sounds like a fairly even game, but then you look at the towers, 5-2, but 28.7 to 31.7, 3,000 gold difference. It's not a massive amount, but you've got to worry when you've got your AP carry and your AD carry, and they're the guys that are really getting fed at this stage.
Totally fed. 402, 502. They've both got, you can see 7.2k, 8.6k compared to 6,000 on both the carries of the opposition team. It is a big advantage, all that gold stacking up on those heroes, but the question is, can they stall them out enough? Losing those turrets like they just did there, giving up those turrets, that's not helping with the stall. Just for a single Dragon, they should have just gone back and said, look, you know what, we need the turrets more than we do need that Dragon. Now they can see, oh, that's Shirelia's used there. They wanted to get on them, wasn't enough. And Shahrukh backs away from that one. So they've got double Shirelias here, Absolute Legends, as well. This is that stack up. They have that aggression. And they wanted to try and make something happen there. Olaf's going to return to bottom lane, so they're going to return to farm sessions here, Joe. And honestly, let's look across the board at the items. Oh, crescendo on Slushy. Slushy's going to be the target, but he's so hard to pin down. He just shumpos away, and he's gone. That's going to be the mid turret, though. Meteor Maker starting to pick things up here. Phantom Dancer already picked up by Cogmo. Is it enough, though? They turn it into the aggression. The ultimate from Spellsy's not going to be enough to save him, but there's the Katarina ultimate. Oh, my God, he's picked up the triple kill instantly. He's got the Quadra. Can it be the Penta? He's trying to go for it. No, scumbag Robert Lee picks up a double kill and turns it around. Doesn't matter, Cogmore was taken, Katarina was taken down, but what a great turnaround. That's the damage from Absolute Legends. They're going for Baron, Joe.
Yeah, they're going for Baron, and that's classic Katarina position.
Yeah.
Right there, they're like, oh, where's Katarina? Oh, there she is, right on top of us, getting all the resets, and another reset, and another reset. Brilliant play, brilliant positioning. Great fight for Absolute Legends. They're going to now be in onto this Dragon with Robert Lee there. They should have enough damage. Yoda needs to be careful, though, that he doesn't fall foul to that one, but with Olaf in there as well, this is going to be Baron picked up, and quite handily, everyone else on the team has now respawned.
So low there. Nearly got taken down, but that's the Baron, and like you said, all the team, that's what they were delaying there. Everybody picked up the Baron buff, and that will benefit the whole of Absolute Legends. This is the speed, the tilt they needed, the aggression they needed to try and take them out of the game, because the end game, Sharu, Makla, Kubon will all be very, very strong if this game starts getting longer. If it starts to stretch, it starts to hit in the 30-40 minute stage, then the game will definitely start to balance itself out. Absolute Legends now, with this Baron buff, they have to get up either through that middle, through one of those top lanes. They've worked all the inner turrets down. They know that top inner turret is down to about half health already. They need to try and push the advantage with this 4-minute Baron buff.
Let's have a little look at the items as well. Triple Shurelya's Reverie now. That is 9 seconds of 40% movement speed, Demon.
They're going to catch you, that's for
They're
sure.
They're going to catch you.
And
When you
boots of
don't have
mobility on Yoda as well.
Yeah, when you don't have a Shurelya's on your team and they've got 3, well, good luck with that one. Especially, I mean, they've got Sona, they've got Cogwall. Both champions aren't particularly quick either. So there we go. The stun coming down on towards Charu. Robert Lee actually pushing in for this one. But with Makata there, probably forced them to back away somewhat. But that's going to leave this turret maybe available for the taking. As we see, Absolute Legends setting up again. Classic Katarina positioning there off to the side. And they wait once again. Here we go then. Radiant Wave comes in.
It's coming around the back.
And he is coming around the back. Here comes Slushi right into the middle. Actually will get stunned up by Crescendo. But once this assist comes in for him, it's all game on once again. There is another kill for Katarina. That's a great shockwave to hold them all back though. And actually the Cogmore passive doing quite a lot of damage to them as well. They can, however, take this turret down. Better if it doesn't focus Robert Lee, which it will actually go in there for Zeken. And Absolute Legends now with another turret down. 6-3 in turrets. And as I said, the gold just a few minutes ago, you know, that only 3,000 or so. Then you had the Baron. Now you've got another couple of turrets, and all of a sudden, it's kind of approaching that 10,000 mark.
Well, that was not an ideal fight for them there. I mean, yes, they got the 2 kills, they got the turret, but they had the Baron buff. A lot of them took too much damage. Like you mentioned, that shockwave really caught them completely and just stopped them dead while Zeken was there trying to do the damage. But if that shockwave hadn't landed, I'm pretty certain that inhibitor would have gone down.
Yep.
As it is, the lifesteal and everything regen that comes with the Baron buff is enough to keep them in it, and they're just going to farm out those waves. So know what they're doing. They're trying to push the top and the bottom wave, trying to keep them going. You can see it already. Graves on that bottom lane, heading straight towards it. He wants a piece of this. He knows he can go 1v1 with this Cogmore. And actually, the ping, they got the vision on the blue.
He's got it.
He stole it. Puts the collateral damage, then the box shot, absolutely wrecking. And now Kubon in all sorts of trouble. Slushi ultimate is going to be enough. No, just takes him down. But Libic is going to get dropped here by Robert Lee. He can't stand and fight him. And you can see just through the wall there, Robert Lee wants to try and get more. He's already got the triple and just cleaning house. 10-0-7. Cogmore is in trouble. That's going to be Makla now. Makla's going to get took down here. Yoda not using the Impale yet. He's still managing to hold on to it. Not going to let him through. Didn't even give it. And Robert Lee, 11-0-7 now. Domination from Graves.
Domination, I think, could even be an understatement at this point. I mean, those kills being racked up left, right, and centre. He's got 2,500 gold on him after just coming back into it there. I mean, Bloodthirster, Phantom Dancer, Quicksilver Sash. He's got the pickaxe in there as well. Just looking so very, very strong, Absolute Legends, which is great to see. It's looking like we are going to see a third game. I don't want to jinx it, which I often do by saying stuff like that.
Joey's got nearly 5,000 gold over Cogmore, Makla. Makla, the one we're giving player of the tournament so far, he's got nearly 5,000 gold over him. It's such a huge difference. That middle turret is going to go down. There's nothing they can do about it. Spellsy putting the stun down, and Libic more just keeping him at bay there. And the rest of the team just continuing to drive these towers forward. You can see the bottom lane, creep wave going in there. The top lane, Robert Lee already heading there. There's going to be another creep wave. Remember that top lane turret down to half health already. There's Robert Lee picking up the red buff. They're just doing work here, Joe. They're just picking all the advantages, and they're playing it very well. They're not playing like a team under pressure. They're playing with a team with a focus, and they really have that focus on. They knew exactly what they'd got to do. They knew they needed to push the pace, and you can see Slushie 828, 1107, the exact champions. There's only one kill across the rest of the team. It's all on those two carries.
Have we seen a bad Katarina this event?
Katarina can get snowballed so easily. I think we have seen one. I can't think who the heck it was for, but we've seen one that didn't get the farm that he needed. And once they don't get the farm, it's very hard to catch up. But, I mean, Ocelot pointed it out. Sharu on Oriana versus Katarina, it's not a good match.
Yeah.
And it doesn't seem to be the good match, Joe, and it's looking like they're going to go for the inhib.
Here we go then. Inhibitor is open. Robert Lee hammering away on that one. Got his Infinity Edge finished now after his return home with 3,000 gold that he had in his pocket. But some good damage coming out, and you can see there already that Cogmore, he's got Phantom Dance. He is a little bit away from that Infinity Edge up till now, but he's already starting to do good damage and forcing them away from it. But is it going to be too little too late? That's the feeling that I have from this one, as Absolute Legends do take down that first inhibitor. Baron buff, of course, has run out, which means they are going to be running back for another one. Are they going to set up a trap here? I'm not sure that MYM would fall into such an obvious one, to be honest. And they also have this ward inside of the Baron pit, so they would know if that Baron has been started or not. Spellsy currently, I'm guessing, is just going to ward around, make sure that they've got good vision of all the paths that MYM could take to come back towards this Baron in a little while once it comes up. Blue buff is available, red buff is available as well for Absolute Legends, so they may want to be thinking about taking those before they do start to push. In fact, 3 of them are going in towards this top lane. They're not necessarily going to catch Makata, but they may be able to take down this turret. There's the first few shots coming out from Robert Lee. Cogmore going to be spamming as much as he can to keep him at bay, but Phantom Dancer, Infinity Edge, Bloodthirster.
We could see a flash impale here. Yoda's got that potential. You see, they've got that ward through there. If he flash impales and catches Sharu, Sharu will drop because they'll all focus on him so quickly. There it is. There's the flash. There's the impale. Sharu goes down. Dead meat. Crescendo goes across, but it's all too little too late. Libic's going to get caught out there. Robert Lee picks up another one. 12-0-8. Turret goes down within seconds because it was already half down. This is going to be GG, and Absolute Legends absolutely tearing through Meteor Makers. They did exactly what was required of them. They needed that damage early on. They needed to push the pace. We're 30 minutes in. 2 inhibitors down. They're going to back off and get Baron.
Yeah, they're going to back away and take that one, but even with that kind of stall in play that they've got right now, it's not really, I can't really call it a stall play. I mean, it's more of a consolidation play, let's call it, to make sure that that advantage that they've got is just that much bigger with this Baron buff on, that there should be no way that they can lose this one coming into this next fight. I mean, where you're expecting the damage to really come from when you compare the two teams and the items that they've got. The fact that Katarina there, we saw actually Slushie pushing, Makata's here and he's dead. Not even going to get excited about that one, but here over the other side it is Irelia. Oh, she managed to steal it!
with the
He's
ultimate!
stolen it! I cannot believe it!
Oh my word!
And the bear was, you know, I said I'm not going to get excited about that, but Irelia spamming her ulti in there, it was all a distraction.
And that was the last blade of the ultimate as well that came through, and that was a max range. I didn't even know you could steal it from there with Irelia. Amazing, amazing stuff. And that's the kind of thing they need. That shows that these teams, these players, they're not completely switched off yet. They realize that at this stage they're probably out of it. They're 2 inhibitors down. You generally don't come back from that. But they are not giving up just yet, Joe.
And I'll tell you one thing, Demon. It's 9,000 gold. Inhibitors are down. Can they come back from this one? I mean, we've seen games with bigger gold leads being thrown.
We have.
But those games still had inhibitors and turrets, and that is I think the key factor in this.
But we are moving into the phase where Cogmore is at his right build now. You can see Phantom Dancer, Infinity Edge.
Yep.
We've got a GA on Irelia. It's not beyond the realms of possibilities. If they were to kill either Slushie or Robert Lee, if they were just to catch him out of position, get Robert Lee down very quickly, it could turn very, very fast because Slushy could get Blade Stage and stunned and stopped in his tracks or crescendoed as doing the ultimate. And if Robert Lee got taken out very quick, there's no other damage. Look at the rest of the team. There's 0 kills across the board. So if they can catch one of those AD carries or AP carries in the right position, then yes, maybe. But it's a big ask.
It is a big ask at this point, and Absolute Legends are going to have to take their eye off the ball.
But Robert Lee, like, in positions like that, if he was to get caught in a shockwave, it could be over for him.
Yeah. And then they've got the follow-up stun from Udia. They've got, like you said, the crescendo
Just
coming
like
out. And
that.
there is the shockwave. Robert Lee just outside of it, though. And with that, Absolute Legends are now going to be thinking, well, no shockwave. That's possibly one thing that MYM have really got up their sleeves to throw this back at us. But let's not forget, I mean, MYM, they're a Baron-up team right now. They've got good items on the people that need it. But here we go, Kuban going to be pulled out. Is this GA going to get popped before he can do anything? Yes, it is. There is a crescendo coming out. They're focusing in on Makla, but look at Zekent losing a lot of HP. There was Slushy as well being focused. They have managed to take down Irelia, but they've done good damage in the process. They need to drop Robert Lee. They need to get him out. Well, they need to drop Slushy. They need to drop everyone. Just too much.
It's not going to happen. There's the triple kill. Robert Lee farming his way to victory. 16-0-9, ladies and gentlemen. Give him a round of applause. What a fantastic performance by Absolute Legends. We're going to have Game 3 in the Intel Extreme Masters Singapore final. They have taken a fantastic match. Now they've got smiles on their face. 28-9. That's the victory they needed.
Yeah, and I remember Ocelot talking about a weird phenomenon that I guess no one can really explain, is that when you go one behind in a best of 3, I think a lot of the time it turns out to be a 2-1 in
It's
your
not
favor,
just the best
together.
of 3s. You think of Azubu Frost, 2-0 down, came back against CLG. Taipei Assassins, 1-0 down against Azubu Frost in the World Finals.
Yep.
They'd come back. They do these things. Something in you, the resilience factor, just gets it back going, gets that blood pumping, and just think, we are not going to lose this. Why would we? And it's almost like they have nothing to lose. And they knew they had nothing to lose. They just went for it.
Yeah, and I think it's part of the fact that, you know, the team that wins the first game, Meet Your Makers in this case, after game number 2, it's nail-biting stuff, the point that you're thinking, damn it, we had that 1-game lead, and now what's happening to us? Why is it all falling to pieces? Oh, my God. And they need to basically just forget that game and be thinking about game number 3, about how they're going to go up against Absolute Legends. That Katarina, again, 9-2-13. Graves with Robert Lee, 16-0-9. An absolutely brilliant performance. Yeah, untouchable
stuff. So, let's get over to the analyst desk and see what they make of that one. We're going to have a game 3 coming up shortly.
Thanks, Lee. You can stop laughing at me anytime, too. Welcome back to the analyst desk. Last game, AL got stomped. This game, they were doing the stomping. What went differently?
Actually, well,
I got it. One word. Katarina.
Actually, no, it was actually Graves, dude. Like, Graves was hitting like a truck inside a truck with trucks inside, basically.
He was wearing
he was destroying everybody, man.
Or boots.
He was destroying everybody. He ended like 16 kills or something like that. It was just...
16-0-9, I think.
That's the hand motion for Graves.
Yeah, that's how he shoots. He was doing that the entire game.
Well, we do have to point out, though, that he got a double kill early on because of Katarina coming down with that teleport, and that really snowballed that lane.
She played, I mean...
Slushy made you pretty much eat your words this game.
Yeah, I mean, I said, no, don't get me wrong. I said, I hope this guy plays really, really good now so I can, you know. The truth is that some players cannot play some champions, okay? Maybe he cannot play TF, as I cannot play Karus, you know? It's just some players just... Some heroes don't fit into some players. So probably Katarina is his best champion, or one of his best champions. He showed it. He played amazing against a really good team, which is Meet Your Makers. And he probably won the game with Graves.
Yeah.
Them both alone.
At the very start, we saw something really interesting with the way that MYM engaged that creep wave really, really early.
Oh, yeah, all right.
The function of that.
Yeah, okay, so... can we go in game, actually, so I can show it? Okay, so they went right here, you know, in between those 2 towers in bottom lane. The creep wave was on his way to just the normal path, okay? And they went right here, basically, took the wave. Why you do that? Making sure that when the opponent reaches the lane, they got no creeps that defend the lane. So the opposite wave is gonna go directly towards tower. So they have to get this farm. Why do we do this? The reason is that they want to get the red buff. So if the opposite team is defending this tower from the creeps that are attacking it at level 1, you can actually free the red buff. That is the only reason you do it for.
And the thing is that you got that entire creep wave, so you have that experience. But if the other team leaves the tower to defend red, they're going to miss out on an entire wave of creeps. And that's a lot of experience they're going to fall behind in.
That's it. And right now we got a team fight that actually decided most likely everything. We're going to go for it. Zaru gets caught right here, as you can see. She gets wrecked. And there we go.
Katarina.
Katarina triple kill, man. That was just insane. Graves gets a double kill. And here's when you can say that the game went out of control. Then Olaf came.
Spam laughs.
Spam laughs.
As you do when you're seeing that happen.
And then they went
to Baron, yeah.
Yeah, and they did it. So that was actually pretty much the game.
Now, is this when the Baron got sniped?
No, this is actually earlier. There's 2 Barons in the game.
There's 2 Barons, yeah.
So later on, they had their Baron sniped. How important is that when you're so far ahead and you have your Baron sniped? I mean, was it really all that important? Could it have been a game changer?
If AL wouldn't have been that much far ahead, then it would have been a game changer. But luckily for AL, they were so far ahead. I mean, Graves and Katarina were just owning their game.
Yeah, we saw at the end of the game, Graves was like 16-0, as you were saying, and anyone who got in his face would just die. I mean, Udyr ran straight into him, blew up. Anyone else that went into him would just die. Even Aurelia, who had a GA, wasn't enough because of how far ahead he was, how strong he was. And I know, Jarrett, that made you really happy to see Graves.
I play Mafia Graves, and I was vicariously living through him there. I had a lot of fun. I was channeling all of my energy.
Were you that fed any time in your life?
I have been that fed, man.
Oh, man.
I'm going to start streaming. I'll show you guys.
Against bots or against actually people?
You know, if you need a new AD carry on SK.
Oh, gosh.
I'm not so bad, man. Maybe I'm no Yellow Peak. But,
Candy Panda, you're benched.
So now we see, I guess we're going to see MYM come back to blue. We're gonna come.
Sorry, I'm just reading this. He hit like a truck inside a truck filled with trucks. Aslan is so much cooler commentating.
That's a good quote, man. Not as good as
I'm gonna get that on a shirt. I'm gonna get that on a shirt.
Pretty good.
Actually, it's a good shirt thing, you know.
Just famous quotes from Ocelot on a shirt.
We're doing an analysis desk. He's reading Twitter.
No, I'm looking for hashtag IEM. I'm looking for any questions.
Yeah, whatever.
Sure.
Okay, fine.
All right, man. We're gonna see MYM go back to blue. They're back on the bottom. What do you think we're seeing differently? Are we gonna see Katarina banned?
I think Media Makers should actually focus on first picking Zyra. So at least making sure the opponent first ban Zyra. So opponent has to ban Zyra and Katarina, no matter what, because otherwise Media Makers is gonna pick it. As far as I know, Xaru doesn't really like to play Diana, so something tells me that Media Maker is gonna ban Diana. And we're gonna probably see by AL a Zillion ban. So the bans of AL are most likely gonna be, I think, Zyra, Katarina, and Zillion. I think so. Otherwise, they're gonna have a really hard time winning this game.
We're polling Twitter for some questions. Let's see.
There's none so far.
Biggest question. How many scarves do you own, dude?
I think the number was like...
It was 19.
Yeah.
It's 19, but I got 2 new, so 21.
21 scarves.
Yeah.
When did you get 2 more? We talked yesterday and you had 19. How did you pick up 2?
No, but I remember now
okay.
that before leaving, the last day before leaving, I actually picked up 2 more.
I have a scarf.
You have a scarf?
Yeah, I live in Canada. I use it to stay warm. It's a totally different function, man.
I mean, you cannot say here it's actually not cold because it's really
actually,
cold.
It's freezing.
It's freezing, yeah.
And my nipple's so hard, dude.
Wait.
Yeah, you can feel them.
Holy,
don't be
what
shy.
the hell?
Don't be shy.
Don't do that, man. Don't do that, man.
I think I'm cut right
you
now.
You might go yell right
my
here.
My hand's bleeding.
You might go yell here.
I like your hair, by the way, man. You should keep it
Thank
that way. I know you're trying to be me, but...
I was trying to be... Actually, I wasn't trying. I was being Artosis.
Ah, you are Artosis.
Yeah.
You're the League of Legends Artosis, man.
Yeah. But actually, it's pretty funny, man, because I remember the first time I wore a scarf in the tournament, everybody, I mean, many people was telling me, man, what's that? You know, that's not so
What is
common,
that
you know?
thing around your neck?
Yeah, okay, but right now, like you see actually a lot of people wearing them.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Yeah, so it's actually getting more and
So
more
you're a
common.
hipster.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a hipster. I was about to say my word. I'm a hipster, man. I'm a hipster, you know?
Fashionista, man.
I just need those, Wemfire, how are they called?
You
The
got
right-
some glasses with no
Yeah.
lenses.
What?
Yeah, with no glass, yeah.
Yeah.
Man,
That's how they
in
roll.
Spain, you see it all the time,
Oh
man. In
my
Spain, you see it all the
gosh.
time.
Yeah.
Them hipsters, man. Them hipsters.
Okay, here's a
Cry
question.
randomly.
Question for Ocelot. What do you think of the new support in the works?
I think many people is telling me, oh, are you going to play him in mid lane? I know you won't be playing. I mean, I won't be able to play that hero in mid lane because the scaling is extremely bad. I mean, it's just...
Did you just say SK is extremely bad?
No, the
no,
scale.
the
Oh.
scaling.
I was like, what the hell? Sorry. That's what I heard. I was like, why would you say that? Because you guys aren't bad.
Bali.
Sure, that's what you're thinking.
Actually, he told me, man. He told me.
I probably did.
Any other question? And nobody asked you
not
anything?
Not at the moment, but we do have
I'm
still
worried.
on our Facebook page for Intel Extreme Masters,
We do.
facebook.com/IEM. Go ahead.
Go and vote for
For
go and
the
vote for the
MVP?
MVP of the tournament. The voting is not done. It's not done until about 5 minutes after the whole thing ends. Not only can you reward a player with a bunch of cool stuff, a BenQ XL monitor and a Patriot memory and an Intel solid state hard drive and an Intel Core 7 Core i7 CPU. Wow, I can't remember. I remembered all that. That's
iCore.
awesome.
Yeah. I know i7.
i7
i7 Core, yeah.
Extreme. No, Core i7 Extreme.
Yeah.
And then you can win a lot of that stuff yourself too, right? Solid state drive, Patriot memory. You can win that. So go and do that.
Hoodie as well.
And hooks
Custom
him.
hoodie.
Oh yeah, that's right. They're gonna make him a custom hoodie if he wins too. So then he gets to be a super baller at future events. So go and do that. Season 3 coming up. I'd love to talk to you about this. I haven't
Yeah.
had a chance. You know, well, I mean, I guess maybe you don't play 80 carry, but what do you think about the new items like the Hurricane Man? It's really interesting for him.
I mean, the items, the new itemizations are gonna add so much to the game because it's pretty. I mean, it's pretty obvious that the game was getting a little bit boring for the professional players. We play 14 hours a day during the whole year, every day. Obviously, it used to get a little bit boring. So with this new item build, with this new whole gameplay, like the whole game changes. You know, it's like a StarCraft 2 expansion. This is an expansion. You know.
It is, yeah.
It is an
It is.
expansion.
I'm-
The whole game just changes. So I'm so looking forward to
So am
play
I.
it.
Yeah, I think you know they boosted the natural movement speed of champions and they reduced the effective
Yeah.
boots. So I'm hoping and I'm thinking that we're going to see a lot of builds that people are going to delay their boots maybe a long way. Maybe it's just start going right into some damage.
Yeah, and we're gonna see as well, like as we were talking yesterday with Xenon, the itemizations. I mean, when you finish an item, that item is a percentage better. Okay, the value is a percentage better. So in the next patch, that percentage is gonna be less.
Yeah, it was like 70%.
From 70 to 40, I
To
think.
40,
it was.
yeah.
So that's meaning that the late game builds are gonna be worse. Okay, when it comes into stats. So that's going to tell you something, that the early game and the mid game is going to be stronger. So new champions are going to appear, maybe Brand, maybe LeBlanc, I hope so. I'm starting to play her right now.
Yeah, she's
Fiddlesticks,
your favorite
I
champion,
would
right?
love to play LeBlanc, man. LeBlanc.
Yeah,
Every
I
day.
never see her.
I love
Fiddlesticks,
her, man.
jungle. Calling her right now, man.
Well, I mean, they're completely
Fiddlesticks.
revamping the jungle. It's almost like a new game. They did that for season 2 by completely revamping the jungle. Didn't really add items in as much. They did,
You know
accumulate
actually, Elohel, mid laner, Overpow, qualified for this tournament with Fiddlestick
Yeah.
mid lane.
Yeah. I didn't tell you that? Yeah, he ran GP10 yellows, actually. So he would be like 50, 60 CS behind the other opponent.
We got some questions.
But he would gank a lot, and he would come back, and I mean, he was even in gold. It didn't even matter that the CS was behind, so it actually worked out really well for him. We didn't see it this game, though, but I believe he did on one of his champions run that because he was really doing extremely well. There was a question down here about the European scene. Do you think it's evolved over the past couple of months?
Has evolved.
Evolved, yeah.
I think European scene is damn strong. Like, honestly, I don't think we reached the Asian point because Asians are better.
Just blunt. They're better.
Yeah, Asians are better. Not because they are gifted, they are more gifted or something. No, because the mind style they got, the work ethic they got is superior. They don't actually StarCraft 2 semi-final. I mean,
Oh,
quarterfinals
guys,
over.
stop it. That's like, I mean, come on. Jeez, you're embarrassing me.
So, Bali. So yeah, man. What was the question?
European
brain
scene
fart.
evolved, and you're talking about how Asia just flat better,
Ah,
but
yeah,
European.
sorry.
Okay.
Asians don't care about money. They care about getting better and better and better. They win tournaments. That's the Asian man style. I wish Europeans and Americans were like that. and we only have to learn from them. So it's true that Europeans are getting better and better. If you see the top 10 of Europe, I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you which one is better than which one. You know, they are all so tight. Honestly, they are like the top 10 is so tight right now. It's really hard to beat everybody of them. It's really, really hard. So you don't know. You know.
Well, are the European teams, are they looking at how they do things in Korea? You know, coming from a StarCraft background, we've known for a long time.
We
Korea
actually
dominates, that work ethic dominates.
Face.
How has that affected your training? Then we'll move on. SK, you train like Koreans now?
Yeah, more than Koreans. There
Nice.
we go.
All right, man.
More than Koreans. I'm gonna beat you.